The mixers, yeah. That's what they had in high school, right? Or a lot of like colleges and high schools, they have freshmen. It's called freshman mixer. Freshman mixers. They meant like mix with people, not like mixed drinks. I mean, I don't think. Mix with people. Have our mixer elixir. And then we go into the store to get our beer. And our lottery tickets. We stay focused on the mission. Mission focused. I like that, yeah. Stay mission focused. Nothing deters us from our mission. We stay focused on that mission and the completion thereof. So we get a few tickets for the Texas two-step lottery is $325,000. The Mega Millions is $223 million for mañana. What would I do with the $223 million? I think I'd, you know what I'm saying? Go Tiger Woods on them, you know? Or go to Sweden. Nice girls over there, huh? Ooh, Tiger Woods time. You know what I mean? Time to put it in the hole. Yeah. All right. Time to go to that golf course over there in Europe. The European golf courses. No, you know, at Astroworld, you know, they had Alpine Skyway, and it tried to simulate the, you know, the cars on the cables, like in the Swiss Alps, and it's not the same thing. So actually going there, you could actually ride the cable cars for real through the mountains in the Swiss Alps. You could take an Alpine adventure for real instead of just dreaming about it in Texas at Astroworld. How did Astroworld close down? Well, the politically correct version is there were unruly guests. We all know what it was, though. The unpolitically correct version would be what? Black people and Mexicans. No, I mean, there was bad management and bad maintenance, too. Most people, when they went to Astroworld, they didn't want to go to George Floyd World. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of... So the Astroworld became unfamily friendly, besides running out of money and bankruptcy and bad management and so forth. It became a George Floyd paradise. Gangs of dark people running around smoking shit and doing drugs, and became a very unfriendly family environment. You know. It closed down in 2006. Last time I went there, I think I went there like kind of like I want to say I went with my buddy. We were like 17 our last time. Yeah, we went when we were 17 in 1997, and we grew up going to Astroworld in the 1980s and 1990s when it was really family friendly. And yeah, we had a really bad experience. You know, I had some black people they cut in front of the line, and there were some big ass black dudes with white beater gangbanger shirts on, and they fucking straight up cut in front of our line. And then they stood there like, what are you going to do about it? Because we were like 17 and these guys were like, what, 25, 28. They're kind of jacked up too, I guess. So the whole thuggish mentality took down Astroworld. It's really hard to maintain George Floyd World. I mean, it just really is. Fifth Ward World or something. Compton World, South Central LA World. That's not the theme park people really want to go to, right? Hood World. Yeah. Ghetto World. Let's go. Bring your kids. That's a nice one. Had those fajitas tonight, so. Yeah, those Trumps and those rich guys, those billionaires, they know where to get the ass. And they really do. I mean, they go to Europe, right? They go to Tiger Woods. He went to Sweden, got a Swedish supermodel. Donald Trump, he went to what? He goes to Romania, Slovenia, Sweden. They know where to shop for the quality goods, right? Oh. For the quality goods. Oh yeah. Those Slovenian babes, they're pretty hot, huh? And the Romanian ones too. I mean, of course, like every woman can't be gorgeous in Sweden and Romania and Slovenia. I'm just saying, like, generally speaking, they got a lot of babes over there. European women are like, for the most part, really beautiful in general, I'd say. I'm not saying American women aren't beautiful or women aren't beautiful in other places, but look where the rich guys go to get their wives. Maybe some of the European women are more traditional, more family oriented, and that's attractive to the millionaires and the billionaires around the world. Yeah. That's probably another thing, like the culture is better centered around marriage and family, which so I could see that American women probably are tedious and difficult and demanding, and not all women in other cultures and countries are like that. Not as difficult and complex as the American woman. Yeah, that would be funny. Like if you're a single guy, and then everybody, they're married, and then one day it's like, dude, I'm divorced. Hey, what's up, man? Can we go bowling again? It's like, no. I'm not like the guy who fills in every time you're divorced or something. Every time you break up with your girlfriend, I'm not the guy who's gonna fill in for you. So sorry. Maybe I used to do that in the past, but I've decided at a certain age, no more of that. Everybody's on their fucking own. Every man, woman, and child. Yeah. Just like the Titanic. Even if we're on a sinking ship. Every man, woman, and child for themselves. Don't they have like a Van Halen song like that? Every man, woman, and child for themselves? It's the truth. Yeah. It's definitely the real world. For sure. Except like George Carlin would say, it takes a fucking catastrophe to get people together these days. No, I played the lottery too, not just to win, but yeah, I'd like to win the Nintendo Switch too, since it costs a fucking fortune, $500, and the games are $60 to $70 each. Fuck, I can't afford that. So, oh well, times is tight. Times is tough. Well, I'd have to win like thousands of dollars or millions of dollars before I buy one, though. Yeah, I had forgotten how, I'd remembered ABBA and all that. And then I saw a singer-songwriter who's kind of like, she's up and coming, really. She's, very beautiful, makes great music. And she's not real popular yet, but, I have a feeling that she's going to be like a big star one day. And I had totally forgotten until I saw this girl from Sweden, like how beautiful Swedish girls are, And so it's been a while since I thought about it. We've been out on the Japanese girls for a while, so that's why I forgot. I forgot about the Swedish babes. Time to hit the night, hit the road. The adventure awaits. Let's gather the tickets, gather the flow. Now it's time that we go. It's time to rhyme and shit. Hell yeah. those Tazadis right there. It's not graduation week, so everything's on the down low. That's good. Like the first day that all the kids got out of school, it was like motherfuckers everywhere. It's good out here. Hey, how's it going? Oh. Okay.
11.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night, sir. The cerveza. Really chill night. I dig the vibe. Sahara and Dust. Sahara and Dust is coming in. So the air is about to get shitty here in Houston, Texas. Gulf Coast. Sahara and Dust from Africa. But then after that, then it clears out and it starts raining. And a week of thunderstorms, nice and cool. Solar light on. Just kidding. I mean, it is solar. It is solar lights. I know no one gives a shit. I'm just joking. Yo, we got solar, bro. No one gives a shit. Yo, we got solar, bro. That's fucking high tech. Hey, love you. Woo! We in.
I went outside of stuff. And she's,
Oh.
that was Granny that called.
Oh, really? How's she doing? That's good. Oh, great. She's trying to convince people that it's not her fault. They got shut down. Yeah, I know exactly who got that shut down.
I think Bella might need to pee again.
Oh, I just already took her.
I know, you wouldn't mind just one more time? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scott. I know you just walked through the store, but she just keeps walking up to me. So,
All right.
I'm sorry. You don't have to put on your sausage. I mean, you just put on your foot clothes.
Yeah.
And baby Tula.
Tula boo. Yeah, boo.
She came up to me twice and she said, Mama. Mama. So I told her, I know her so much, so I don't. Mama. Then she just keeps coming back.
Okay. Mama, Ella needs to be free. Okay, Ella needs potty. Okay, are you ready to potty? There, beautiful. Oh, you're sweet, ain't you? Mother.
no. I already gave it to you. No. I already gave it to you free. Well, no. 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 It's not my time. You will make my time? You will. No, it wasn't outside.
Oh, it's real quiet. Oh, sure. It's not Friday, and it's not. Kids aren't out of school. Like it's not the final day of school or anything.
When's the final day of school?
No, it's already over.
Oh, yeah, school's already.
I'm just saying, there's nothing going on,
Oh, okay.
so it's real quiet out there. It's just humid and
Yeah, no,
very humid. Yeah.
Saturday's
Oh yeah, no, Sunday's gonna be the worst. It's awful, terrible. Thank you. You're the greatest mom and son could ever have. No, she does something. Still. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I don't care what the name of the I know shut that down. Was he then expelled or he's embarrassed? Or? His landlord's kicking him out because they shut him down? What is it? What? What's that? What's that? Oh. Is there anything else? Oh. I'm not worried about it. Oh, never mind. Just don't worry about it. Oh, thanks for getting the red beer. Oh, okay. Oh, that. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm glad you found the red bear.
Me too.
Woo! Yeah.
I might have given it from closing or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the mixer, elixir, and the boot of destiny. The beer boot of destiny, and the Tomball German Festival right there. Okay, let's put the fizzler in here. Put the fizzler. Watch out for the jizzler. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm joking. All right. No, actually, the girl wasn't a big superstar yet, like Taylor Swift or like Bia DeBooby, and so Amelia, Joel Holm from Sweden. She's not that big yet, so she actually talked to me in the SoundCloud. She's like, "Do you make music too?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I play some guitar. I've written some songs. You know, have a SoundCloud page and all that stuff." So, I'm not a professional musician, like. I didn't go to music college. I didn't go to University of North Texas at Denton. I didn't go to Berkeley College of Music, like my mom's cousin, the jazz guitarist, Mike Wheeler. And so my album was not produced by Willie Nelson, and so or anybody. Anyways, yeah, I didn't go to a professional music school. Yeah. But how do I feel about music schools? I guess it helps. Yeah. You can learn how to play your instrument. You practice your instrument all the time. I guess it does help. Yeah, you learn music theory, learn different instruments. Yeah, it's good. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know. So, I guess for most, it did look like it was a realistic career path, to be honest. I mean, and maybe some people can't afford music school and stuff like that. So, or they have to work really hard to go to Berkeley Music at Boston, or to Denton, or whatever the big music schools are around the world. So. Yeah, I know Mike Wheeler's the main character in Stranger Things. Yeah, that just happens to be the name of my mom's cousin. So, yeah, I mean that there's a protagonist called Wheeler in any show is an amazing thing. Really, it's to me that's amazing. So. Not that Wheeler of English and Irish heritage is in and of itself unique, kind of unique, but I think there's plenty of English and Irish Wheelers. I think in England, Ireland, and North America. So, but it's not as redundant as Johnson, Smith. And other such names that are Jones and other names that are kind of laughable at this point. So it's unique enough without being too unique, though. So Wheeler isn't really ubiquitous everywhere. Do I like the word ubiquitous? One of my favorite words, actually. Ubiquitous. Yeah, everywhere. Sounds awesome. I have to admit, when I hear that song, I can't fight this feeling anymore, by REO Speedwagon, I actually do like that song. I'm not the biggest REO Speedwagon fan, but as far as like a love ballad goes, from the late '70s or whatever, it's pretty fucking good. I know it's a heartburn commercial with a taco or something, trying to reunite with its whatever. That was a good idea to have an antacid commercial with pizza people and like taco people. It's a fucking great idea. Yeah. Or maybe my favorite jingle of the 2020s by Pepto-Bismol. Got upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, diarrhea. Oh, the way they get into that diarrhea is like magical. You got upset stomach. No, it's indigestion, heartburn, nausea, diarrhea. When they hit that note, it's like, oh. Now they know how to. That's actually like it's almost like a 1980s type of jingle, really. Or I don't know if they're allowed to say diarrhea on the commercials back in. Yeah, maybe. One of the joys of watching like an old show from the 1980s, like The Facts of Life, is how the people say retarded. Like, he's retarded. They don't do that as much today. It's more like insensitive. Yeah. He's retarded. They said you know, the N-word in 1960s, 1970s, 1980s movies a lot. But not I don't think so much on the television though. But it was the I guess the reality of America back then is that it was, I don't know, 80-90% white and Caucasian and European, English speaking. So the entertainment and the culture was tailor-made for that sort of demographic, which was mostly white. And just a few shows for minority groups and stuff. Or for whites to enjoy watching about minority groups. There were surprisingly few shows about a family of Vietnamese that worked a cafe or something. There were surprisingly not a lot of shows about minorities. Only a few. Well, they had Good Times and the Jeffersons and usually foreigners and minorities were used as like gimmicks and like cliches and stereotypes. Do I miss like the 80% white America or the almost 85% white America? I guess, yeah. I mean, sure. It definitely was a lot more peaceful. It was better. Of course it was. The lower the white or Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon, European population goes, the greater the country turns to shit. That's just how it goes. So I don't want any less white people. That's for sure. So I don't want the United States to devolve into a South African type situation, you know. So yeah, I haven't talked much about the Trump Elon Musk feud show. I think because I guess on one level I'm like, what? How could this be happening? And then number two, I'm like, oh, whatever. So it's just. How long could corporate interest and government interest stay aligned? They're aligned sometimes. Yeah, sure. maybe Elon Musk wants to run for president. If he's got American, does no? Maybe he can't because he was born in South Africa. So he's kind of has the Arnold Schwarzenegger curse. Yeah. Right. But you do have a man like Elon Musk who would like to defeat his rivals, Bezos, and all the other billionaires and become the king of Earth. Definitely. Sure. Sure. He's like, well, what's next for me? And he's like, well, he might forgo Earth altogether. He's the only man that has those kind of options. Like, well, I'm not feeling how Earth is going. I'm going to go set up my own civilization on Mars. So he might set up his own Muskian Martian civilization and forgo Earth politics altogether. So you just go to a different planet, set up your own thing. That's not an option that most regular common people have, but it's an option that this man obviously has, without a doubt. So I could see Elon Musk's final years, him attempting to get to Mars, and I guess Mars at first would be dependent on Earth until it could grow its own food and support its own atmosphere and have its own water supply. And once it had food, agriculture, water, air, power, self-sufficiency, Mars could, in theory, support a civilization. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's not impossible. It's never been done before, so then I guess people are going to try to do it, so why not? What else are we doing besides going where no man has gone before? We're not doing much else, so why not go for it? I guess the fight would be, what would the future of humanity look like? What would be the governments that control the solar system and its resources? Yeah. Will it be controlled by the Chinese Communist Empire? Or will it be controlled by America? It seems like the Russian Federation is a player, but they're a weakened player on the world stage. It seems like the United States is ready to reassert its dominance, and China is trying to gain global dominance. So it seems like Russia is the sandwich between the two great powers of the world, which are the Chinese and the Americans, the United States of America. So it seems that, Russian Federation, they just seem more and more, they're just powerful because they have nuclear weapons and they could destroy the world. That's it. They're just controlled by fear, not because they actually can contribute anything. So their Soviet Union collapsed. Their federation is not strong, and it's in this death cycle war in the Ukraine. They seem weak and pathetic. They don't seem like, besides that 2,000 thermonuclear arsenal, they don't seem much like they're much. Now I kind of look at the Russian Federation as a sandwich. They're sandwiched in between an emerging power and a power that wants to reassert its global dominance. So it's just getting crushed between the two. And Russia Federation is getting crushed by NATO and Europe. The European Union. So they got a lot of enemies, and there's like this thing in the media. Ooh, China and Russia are getting closer together because of Biden and Trump. I don't think they really trust each other. I mean, to be honest, would you trust the Chinese Communists? Would you trust the Russian Federation? Answer is hell no. I doubt they're as tight as the media likes to hype up. They can't be this tight. They're not the same because one's Russian and one's Chinese, and so some people fear that they would unite to weaken the West and Europe, but I don't really think they're that tight. I'm not saying don't worry about the Russian Federation. Oh yeah, worry about them. They could really do some serious damage to the world as they have already. Right? I actually think the boomers, the boomers have their own certain worldview. And Vladimir Putin is a boomer, 70. Xi Jinping is a boomer, 70. And I think, really, after they die, they could have wingmen in the wings that are a little bit younger that take over and continue with the KGB, continue with the Chinese Communist Party. Yeah, they could attempt to continue it. But I think eventually they'll run out of those types. They'll run out of 20th century people. And they'll have 21st century people in China and Russia that will want to maybe make peace with the West and Europe. And maybe it'll be less adversarial in the future. So less adversarial and confrontational. So maybe there might be peace in the future, perhaps. I'm just saying that, I don't want to sound like a dreamer or anything. I don't want to sound like an over-optimist, but I think once the KGB thug is dead, Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping is passed away, I think the prospects for Vladimir Lenin and Mao Zedong seem grim at that point. I don't think their ideology can survive the future. In other words, I don't think communism can survive. It just can't. That does not mean that communism will not try to survive. It will try to survive. That doesn't mean it will. Yeah, since my old coworker was on Jeopardy, I got on Facebook to congratulate him. I didn't get any response back, So I was like, well, fuck this. And then my cousin added me on Friends, and I was like, oh Lord, he just wants to get on here so they can gossip and shit. And I was like, oh, I deleted my account. I deleted that shit. I was like, I wasn't gonna let Facebook Meta platforms be a spying tool for my old coworkers or friends or family. So I was like, delete. Yeah. Yeah, my cousin's like 28 or something. He lives out on a farm, and I know he gets pretty bored out there, and so there's probably not much to do except gossip about family members and tell everybody everything, and so Facebook is the perfect thing to do that. And it's like, so I'm like, I'm out, bye, have a nice life. Yeah. I wish him the best. He's a musician. He's been playing. He had a few lessons from Mike Wheeler when he was younger, and so he's been taking guitar lessons. He's been playing a really long time, playing guitar a long time. So he makes a lot of videos on Facebook, meta platforms of him just playing guitar. It's good. It's great. I mean, it sounds pretty good. I just don't. Do I think that great guitar playing alone can get you somewhere in today's musical landscape? It could. I mean, it's definitely not. If you're a great guitar player, that's definitely not a knock on you. But as I often say to great guitar players, or maybe even pianists, or whatever musical instrument you play, you know what? I think if you can't sing, you're already sunk. In my opinion. So if you can't write songs or you can't sing, I think your ship is already sunk. It's already torpedoed and sinking. So that's how I feel about it. Now these guys that can play guitar are awesome. It doesn't mean that they're not going to have lucrative music careers. I hope the best for them. Yeah, I really do. But would I be surprised if my cousin or my old friend, if they have a record comes out and they're really successful and they're touring and they have a hit songs and stuff? I would be pretty shocked. But the reality of it is, probably not. And if they did, yeah. So. I know. All the kids are like, I'm going to be a superstar. Yeah. Probably young people have been saying that since the dawn of time. I'm going to be the best in the world. Yeah. I'm going to be the best rocker and musician and singer of all time. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have goals or aspirations and not care. That's not the issue. I don't think that everybody that can play guitar necessarily play guitar well or play instruments well is necessarily talented or musically gifted. So, I mean, that's just, yeah, that's the truth. But there are some people that are gifted and talented, aren't they? Lewis Cole, that's a talented motherfucker. That's a multi-instrumentalist. I mean, he bangs it out, He bangs out some badass shit. Yeah, that was it. He blew up online, that song Bank Account. Yeah, I know he's gay as fuck. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, I know he's like flaming his queers, fucking all get out. I don't give a shit. So his music is kick-ass though. Bank Account. He's on the keyboards. He's like, my bank account's empty. Yeah, I bet people can identify with that one. My bank account is empty. The song about your bank. Yeah, that would be a pretty depressing song, right? Or a funny song, a song about people's bank accounts. So I'm not telling people, hey, don't have any dreams. No, never give up on your dreams, but maybe just be kind of realistic about, the possibility of success with the dreams. Maybe take inventory, maybe realistically. Yeah. I know everybody wants that magical scenario. Like, oh man, I put an ad in the online and then, my perfect band came together and shit. Right? Like, I found the right bassist and I found the right piano player, keyboardist, and yeah, everybody wants that magical Beatles, Fleetwood Mac, Hail Mary or something that just comes out of nowhere, where a whole bunch of talented people mysteriously get together, in the universe. But life isn't always magical like that. So where the right people meet the right people at the same time, and everything succeeds, like just almost like magic or serendipity or something. I mean, just think about the Beatles meeting alone. That Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and Ringo Starr, Richard Starkey, and George Harrison would just happen to be in the same place, in the same time, in the same universe. That's like one in a million. Or you look at life, the odds of life happening. And that's in the universe, that life happened on Earth exactly the way it did is an absolute serendipitous miracle that's almost unexplainable. Yeah, it's a miracle that life began on Earth to begin with. I don't know how many planets in the universe have life, since there's a universe of supposedly 2 trillion galaxies and millions of planets. Yeah, Amelia isn't as big as B.O. B.O. Yeah, the Filipino girl from the UK. Now, I don't really usually think that Filipino girls are hot, but this one is, though. No, I mean, I've worked with, like, pretty Filipino girls before. But, I don't know, Asian, Hispanic really isn't my thing. That's probably why I'm not into Filipinos. They tend to be short, and I don't really like short that much. Yeah. I mean, I like shorts, but I don't like short. Yeah, I don't like short people. Yeah. I mean, it's not like heightism, but I'm over 6 feet tall, so I don't really not really into short chicks. Yeah, just not into it, not naturally into it. Yeah, Filipinos tend to be short, and so. But yeah, there's some really beautiful Filipino girls. I'm not saying that Hispanic Asian is just not my thing at all. It could be my thing if she looks like B.O. Now that's a different story. Beatrice is fine. And so she's fucking fine. She's like, actually, from Wayne's World, she reminds me of Cassandra from Wayne's World, even though the actress who plays Cassandra from Wayne's World is like Thai or Cantonese or something. So, I mean, she is fucking crazy good looking. But, like, Beatrice is almost like the real life Cassandra. Like the Asian chick that rocks out and that speaks English, though. And is not just, making music in Japan or China or, Korea. She's the one who branches out into English, Western countries and English-speaking countries. So in a lot of ways, I look at Beatrice as the real life Cassandra, that Asian chick that rocks out. You know, she's fucking badass. Did Tia Carrere ever do a Tia Carrere? Did she ever do like a Playboy? If she did do a Playboy spread, I bet that shit sold off the fucking thing. I'll tell you that LaToya Jackson Playboy was pretty good. I didn't expect to like the Jackson girls naked, but that LaToya, that was pretty good. Yeah, the LaToya Jackson. I don't think, did Janet Jackson do a Playboy too? No, she was. No, LaToya did. She probably needed the money. LaToya on Playboy. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The LaToya Jackson Playboy. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know about LaToya Jackson Playboy, well, there's the internet, so. LaToya Jackson Playboy. That was a good one. It was really good. Yeah, Playboy, before they had porn, they had Hustler and Playboy. And the Hustler was like nasty. Showed like close-ups of women's like vaginas and buttholes and kind of like, it was kind of nasty actually. Kind of like disgusting. Hustler. And so all the teen boys would have the Hustlers. They'd be like, hey, we got the Hustlers. And it was before the internet. It was before porn. I mean, before internet porn. And so the guys would be like, hey, I got the Hustler, man. Look at this. And then I'd be like, oh. You know, I'd be like 11 and 12. I'd be like, man, I don't want to see a girl's butthole. What the fuck is this? And, you know, because the kids were older and shit. And I was like, Hustler? Oh, fuck that. You know. So Playboy was different because it was AKA classier. The women got naked, saw the tits, the bush, the butt cheeks, but no vagina and no butthole close-ups. So that was basically the difference between Playboy and Hustler. I'm not anti-butthole. I'm not anti-vagina, obviously. But, yeah. The Hustler ones were pretty risque. They're pretty obnoxiously nasty, though. So, yeah, the Playboy ones were always, like, really, you know, like, really well done. Like, well photographed and filmed and all that. So I guess Playboy was like soft porn, and then, or not even really porn. It was just like, it almost felt like nudity art, and then almost. And Hustler felt like hardcore, really disgusting, like hardcore porn, and. But, you know, internet porn came out, and then pretty much Hustler and Playboy were dead after that. Well, I'm sorry. The print was out of it, and then it became, you know, cable and pay-per-view TV pornography, and then it became, and I think probably they still have pay-per-view pornography, but on channels still. But I don't think they're as strong as they used to be because a lot of the porn's online and controlled by porn moguls online. Oh, should it be like that? No, wait, it should be like this. Check it out. No, it should be like this. That's not even the vibe I was going for. I don't think it's really there yet. You know what the next chord should be though? Yeah, maybe that's it. It's the C chord. It sounded different up here, and down below it sounded right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And then do the rest of it. You know, write a song about that? Oh shit! You need more weed and beer for that. Yeah, Silverchair was from Australia, and they had a big hit in the United States. It's called Tomorrow. Now, the reason why it was even more amazing is that these guys weren't like 25 or 27 or older. They were like, what was it, like just 13, 14? And so the guys who wrote in Silverchair, Frog Stomp from Australia, the big hit all over the world, were like 14 or 15 or something. Like, kind of like child prodigies. So, Frog Stomp. Memorable album title, Frog Stomp. And then also Tomorrow was a really great one. The name Silverchair comes from the Chronicles of Narnia, for the nerds out there. The first thing of Narnia I read was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 5th grade. So at Pasadena, Texas, this kind of like ghetto school called Pomeroy Elementary in 1990. And so that was my first whiff. That was before Harry Potter, and it's before I read Lord of the Rings. So there was not before Narnia fantasy books. I suppose it was Baum, the Wizard of Oz. And then after that was like late 1800s. And then after that, it was C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia, J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings, and then way later, the late 90s was Harry Potter with J.K. Rowling. So, well, I mean, but also Stephen King kind of dominated 1970s, 1980s dark. Well, he was more of a horror writer, but he did do some fantasy like The Dark Tower and so on. I never read the whole Dark Tower series. It's just like 7 books long. I haven't done it yet. There's one book I want to read that my friend told me I should read. It's called Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. I never read Rama, so that's the one I haven't read by Arthur C. Clarke. So. But I read Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov and the Foundation trilogy and but I haven't read Dune by Frank Herbert though. I don't even want to actually. Not because I hate it, but it's just like I don't know. It's kind of boring to me. So there's 7 books also to the Chronicles of Narnia, but the first one most children read in school is taught in literature in English is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because that's a really fun one, and so. So the first one is called. What is the first one called? Is it just called? The Chronicles of Narnia. The second one's called Prince Caspian. Did they start off with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then went to Prince Caspian, and that's the order of the events in the Narnia are kind of strange, because they're not exactly linear, and so. So there's Prince Caspian, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and then Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Anyways. Yeah, I forgot all the books, right? Yeah, I don't remember what the order or what all the names are. All I know is that the final book is called The Silver Chair. That's the 7th book. Yeah, so that's what the band called. That's what the guys from Australia called their band was called Silver Chair. Yeah, I took my cousin in Austin. We went to Highland. We went to Highland Cinema, which was funny because it was like where Mike Judd is from. The Texas Hill Country, and in Beavis and Butthead skits, there's always like Highland Mall and Highland High and all this stuff, and I had no idea, when I was in Houston, what that was referencing. But when I went to Highland, the Highland Mall, I kind of clicked. It kind of dawned on me that was Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge territory there. That he had created the Highland High, Highland City after the Texas Hill Country in North Austin and the Texas Hill Country. So me and my cousin went to go see The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It's not that good. I don't know what's when I was like I don't know when I was 5 years old. I'm sorry, when I was 10 years old, and I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 5th grade. It seemed like the most amazing thing. I think by the time the Chronicles of Narnia movies started coming out, that there was already Harry Potter and there was already Lord of the Rings, and so it didn't seem that great anymore. Is what happened. It just got eclipsed. It got overshadowed. Yeah, I think if they would have made like the Chronicles of Narnia like movies in the 1970s, 1980s, that would be like beloved classics. But is there too much Christian allegory? Too many religious themes in it of Christianity? Maybe that is also a problem with Chronicles of Narnia. Not that there shouldn't be Christian allegories, but I think that J.R.R. Tolkien did a lot better job of doing Christian allegory, maybe even than C.S. Lewis. So, yeah, I think that maybe Lord of the Rings seems like it's eternal, and it doesn't seem dated, and so like, yeah. But C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia, it seems very dated, like a product of its time. So that's why The Chronicles of Narnia and C.S. Lewis does not endure, and The Lord of the Rings endures in popularity because it seems like it has morality and themes that transcend time, which is the mark of any great art or literary work. So, it does. It does take on a timeless quality, the Lord of the Rings, in a way that the Chronicles of Narnia do not. And so you made pretty awesome art if it transcends generations of time, and yeah. It's not that the idea of medievalism or sword and sorcery is contemporary. It is just that the themes of defeating evil, good versus evil, endure throughout time and throughout cultures. So that theme of the story endures, even if it is a Judeo-Christian theme, it still endures through time, through peoples, through civilizations. So. Defeating darkness is still it's just like I think the Chronicles of Narnia, it gets too preachy and it gets too convoluted and it just gets too bogged down by its Judeo-Christian themes, and in a way that Lord of the Rings does not. So Lord of the Rings is able to maintain its English, Anglo-Saxon roots and medieval English folk roots and Christian roots without preaching to the audience and making the reader feel, like it's a dated piece of work. So. Also, the genius of J.R.R. Tolkien is to really serve as a literary metaphor for World War II. Since he wrote most of the books during World War II, you can tell that it's almost reading like a fantasy version of World War II in a lot of ways, because there's betrayals. And even though in the Bible there are betrayals, it's quite exciting, the betrayals. And there's big wars, and there's big armies, and there's big things going on, and catastrophic world-changing events. And so you could tell, like, the second book, The Two Towers, that's obviously like the alliance of the Two Towers is like the Axis powers of World War II. You could definitely tell that that's what when he's writing, he's getting inspiration from evil and dark powers joining forces to enslave the world. You can tell he's inspired by that. You could tell that The Lord of the Rings is not only inspired by folklore from England, but it's also, and sword and sorcery fantasy fiction, but it's also heavily indebted to the historical events in which it was written, World War II, which, our great-grandparents didn't even know if they were going to make it. They're going to survive, or their children would survive into the future. and who would actually ultimately come out of that conflict. So it was very dark and uncertain times. And I think Lord of the Rings endures because he was able to encapsulate that time period in a fictional fantasy narrative. And that's also why it really endures, because, you know, it just kind of, his fiction parallels World War II history in a really good way. And so, even though there's certain elements like the Battle of Helm's Deep, which are kind of ripped out, you can tell that he was a greater historian because, the Battle of Helm's Deep is much like the Battle of the Alamo, where you have a superior force and a weaker force trying to defend an outpost. That's very, that's actually not just the Alamo with the Texans against the Mexicans, but that's also in the forces of General Lopez de Santa Anna. That's also an allegory to Megiddo and Armageddon when the Jews were surrounded in ancient Megiddo. So it's still a great literary. It's still David versus Goliath. So there's still biblical Christian themes going through it. So that's what makes it such a fascinating literary work. It's not taught in school, or at least when I went to school, it wasn't, because it wasn't considered serious literature. But I when I read Lord of the Rings, I said, this is very serious literature. And even if it's to a commercial or pop type of goal or atmosphere. So sometimes the so-called serious literature isn't that great at all. Most of the time, it's all right. I mean, I could see why the classics are classics, but why they don't teach Lord of the Rings in English class, and they only teach Shakespeare, and I understand why they just teach the basics. That's fine, but I was lucky enough they let some C.S. Lewis slip in my education. In literature, in English literature, because that was a mind-blowing moment. Imagine some kids get to read Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or something like that. Their minds are going to be really blown if they're like 10, 11, 12. And they don't teach Ernest Hemingway in schools. I don't know why. I know it's dark. I know it's raw. It's based off real life, real experiences, but why Ernest Hemingway is not taught in contemporary American literature is beyond me. To me, it's just not taught in curriculum. Why? Why must all this stuff we have to go outside to read instead of it being taught in the curriculum? I don't understand why classic American literature is not taught in contemporary American educations. That's all I'm saying. Why not? Why do people have to read the same old boring shit? I mean, it's like, or why don't you just have a year of Shakespeare? Fuck it. I mean, like really, dude. A year of fucking Shakespeare. Learn it all. Do it. Why does the class just be that fool? It'd be fucking kick ass. To Beer or Not to Beer by William Shakespeare. One of the most classical artists of all time. The founder of the English language. William Shakespeare. To beer or not to beer? But I say to beer. William Shakespeare, one of the legendary English artists of the English language, one of the architects of the great English language. To beer or not to beer? That is the question that preoccupies preoccupies my liver? To be or not to be? That is the question that preoccupies my brain cells. Yeah. Time to get the beer. Beer time. So this is a part of the episode called Beer Time. Prepare. Hey, let him go. You're watching those things stuff? For real? Oh, okay.
Like I said, most of the time it's about Hitler
Oh,
and Germany.
or Soviets?
But mainly Hitler, how they built crap and then just let it to rot everywhere. Ships, submarines, they're all over the world. They let crap just to shipwreck up against, that shore.
Yeah.
Other crap.
Yeah. Okay. Pour the beer. Oh, yeah. I want to watch Dune. They always show Dune 2, but they don't show Dune 1. So I'd like to see that. Do I like the Maxine trilogy with Mia Goth? Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. It's definitely interesting. There's Pearl, and there's X, and then there's Maxine. Not because I just like looking at Mia Goth's titties and butt cheeks. But I think it's pretty good. Besides, Mia Goth is hot. She's married to Shia LaBeouf. Jew. He's Jewish, right? Shia LaBeouf. Well. Yeah. What's kind of the problem with Shia LaBeouf? It's not that he's Jewish. It's just that he's trying to be hard and masculine all the time. He's like, yeah, I'm tough, yeah. But he's really short and scrawny. He's like a pipsqueak. Yeah. Does Shia LaBeouf get into Hollywood because he was a Jew? Yeah. Some Jewish studio, some Jewish producer or some Jewish was like, hey, look, it's a Jew. Even though he's like short and scrawny, he's part of the Jew. And so they gave it Shia LaBeouf. Is he really talented? No, he's not. Like Cillian Murphy, he's talented. Liam Neeson, he's talented. Joaquin Phoenix, he's talented. But Shia LaBeouf? Oh, man, no. That's a Jewish hookup. Let's say that. Yeah, lucky bastard. Have I ever watched anything from Shia LaBeouf, a Jew, and said, "Wow, that's great, Shia LaBeouf, woo"? No, I don't see a confident, strong man. I see an insecure, weak, pathetic man who has to flex his muscles and act hard all the time because he's a little scrawny, short pipsqueak. To me, Shia LaBeouf sucks. Yeah, I used to watch this movie because, the Jewish in Hollywood, they cast this Jew guy. And so I had to watch it. So I would have rather watched Joaquin Phoenix as Sam Witwicky in Transformers or somebody else. But I had to watch a Jew. I had to watch Shia LaBeouf. For some reason, I had to watch Shia LaBeouf. So, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm just saying I had to watch because I'd rather watch somebody else at Transformers. I mean, it was going to be 1980s, but fucking, I don't know, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T and that shit. I would be like, whoa, that's nostalgic. I would have loved Bruce Willis in Transformers. Anybody but fucking Shia LaQueef. Shia fucking LaQueef. I mean, it was all right. Oh, I need a car so I can get a girl so I can look at Megan Fox's butt cheeks. I mean, it was okay. I mean, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's not like Shia LaBeouf is getting fucking Oscars. He's never got an Oscar probably in his fucking life. He never will because he sucks. It was a look. Shia LaBeouf got a hookup from the Jewish community in Hollywood. It was not because his talent was amazing. Maybe he was good at Holes. Maybe he was good at Disney. But he got the Jewish award of transcendence or something. So it's not that he's strong. It's not that he's tough. It's not that he's handsome. It's not that he's anything. He's not talented. He's not any of that shit. He's just Jewish. Boom. All right. That's true. And we as big, strong American guys must have been thinking when we're watching this dude, like, how did this guy become a star? He's fucking scrawny. He's fucking short. He's always insecure. Like, he's always flexing his muscles saying, do it. He will not divide us. He will not divide us. He will not. He's always doing some pussy ass, gay ass shit. How did this guy become a leading man in Hollywood and get leading man parts? He's not Christian Bale. He's not fucking Russell Crowe. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck let this guy in? Right? Shia the fucking queef. Who the fuck is this? It's amazing. Okay, he had connections to Jewish producers or executives or something in the Hollywood system. That's it. Boom. Ugly, untalented people get in if they're part of the right family or the right tribe or the right, Judaism or whatever. So he was at the synagogue and, he wasn't that talented. And then Disney was like, hey, you'd be good in this, huh? Oh, your father's LeBeouf. Ah, one of the finest Jews. Ooh, LeBeouf. Shia LaBeouf. Oh. Don't be a Shamil. Shia LaBeouf. Oh, with a Jew. The Judan. Oh. Nice. You got a Jewish hookup, huh? So. Awesome. And then it's, after that, I go see Transformers in 2007. I'm like, whatever. I was like, how did this pipsqueak guy, how did this guy with this big ass nose, this big ass Jew nose, you know what I mean? I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm just saying, how did this scrawny, short motherfucker get with a fucking bogus ass nose? How did this guy get, this guy who's not handsome or charismatic at all, not worth a shit, he can't act worth a shit. How is this guy the leading male actor in Transformers. How in the fuck? Right? I mean, it's crazy. And then, but I don't think any of it. I don't think anything of it because I'm younger too. And I'm just like, well, whatever. I guess he beat out the other guys, I guess. Or he had a Jewish executive. Right? All right. Because the Jews helped him. Because Spielberg and the Jews helped him. Yeah. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm just saying, look. I'm not anti-Jew, but this is what went down, guys. All right. The hookup, right? He got hooked up. And because he's Jewish. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is Jewish. So he got hooked up in Hollywood. He didn't get it. The Irish people didn't get a hookup. Yeah, the English people didn't get a hookup. Nope, the Australian people didn't get a hookup. Nobody else got a hookup. But the Jewish people got a big fucking hookup, didn't they? Oh, yeah. So, did the American people get a hookup? No. Did the black people get a hookup? Did the Mexican people get a hookup? Hispanic people get a hookup? Did the Asian people get a hookup? We don't got the hookup. Jews' finest son since Jesus Christ, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaQueef. Smells like a pussy fart anyway. It just sucks. That guy, I mean, I don't understand what he wasn't handsome, wasn't talented, wasn't fucking tall, wasn't tall, dark, and handsome. Couldn't act worth a shit. And we had to sit through years of his movies for some reason because the executives or somebody in the CEOs of Hollywood were fucking Jews. And we had to sit through it because of that. That's it. No other reason. We didn't want to sit through it, but we had to. If we wanted to see Indiana Jones or whatever, we had to sit through fucking Shia LaQueef. And it fucking blew. It is what it is. But, so. Yeah, and then they had I think I went and saw a movie with Shia LaQueef. It was called Eagle Eye, and it was like, I'm seeing a short, fat-nosed, insecure Jew again. I'm like, why am I going to see this? I don't know. I guess he's a star. Is he like the big leading man star? Isn't he a star? Isn't he a Jewish star? The Star of David? This is the Star of David. This is the leader of the new Jew. All right, so I see Eagle Eye, and then I think 2008. It was like, oh my god, yeah, it comes out. Indiana Jones 4 comes out. Nobody wanted Indiana Jones 4. That grew up with Indiana Jones. I guess Steven Spielberg and George Lucas really wanted Indiana Jones 4. And then we go see 2008 Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And guess who's the son of Indiana Jones? Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, Steven Spielberg's Jewish, and then they have Shia LaBeouf. More LaBeouf. More fucking LaBeouf. The world might need more love, sweet love, but one thing the world does not want is more LaBeouf. What the world needs now is LaBeouf, sweet LaBeouf. Oh, that's what the world needs more of. What the world needs now is sweet Shia LaBeouf of the Jewish Judaism. Yeah. So I went and watched this shit, and I'm like, oh my god. Kate Blanchett is a Russian fucking Soviet trying to get the skull of Akator in fucking South America. The fucking crystal skull. Oh my God. This is awful. Oh. I sit through it. I love going with my Christian friend. The reason why, not because I'm atheist or I'm anti-God or anti-Jew or anti-religion. I'm just not into it. I don't grow a beard. I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't wear a cross. I don't, I'm like Bill Hicks. I'm like, hey, JFK. I don't wear a gun around my neck, pendant, and say, hey, JFK, just thinking of you. So that was the joke by Bill Hicks that Jesus would come back and everybody would be wearing a cross. Oh, just thinking of you, Jesus. That was the joke, right? And if JFK came back, then everybody would have a pendant of the guns. Yeah. That way he got shot by. All right. So I'm not a devoted Christian or a devoted Jew. And so my friend was like a devoted, Christian, and he wants to be like Christ and walk on water and grow his beard and wear fucking crosses and fucking read the Bible all the time and all that bullshit. And so we're seeing this movie, and Indiana Jones is like, okay, so Indiana Jones, 1981, when I was 1 year old, shit in my pants back in 1981 because I was born in 1980. So when I'm shitting my fucking pants, there's 1981, The Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that's about the Lost Ark of the Covenant, where apparently that's where the Ten Commandments were housed, and has spiritual powers and destroyed the Hebrews and so on. So that one was based off the Bible and religious folklore. Then the second movie, it deviates. It goes to Indian folklore, thuggy cults, and sacred stones, and all this BS. But the third one goes back to Christian folklore with the Jesus, the cup of Christ, the cup of eternal life and eternal youth. And so most Christians and Jews probably thought that the Indiana Jones franchise is about Christianity and about God, and it carries those themes, even mentions Jehovah and the cup of Christ in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So when I go with my hardcore Christian friend to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he is horrified to realize that it's about aliens. And I'm a big alien science fiction guy, so I'm like, yes! And he's very upset at the end when we walk out, because he's like, fuck, it's fucking aliens. And I was like, because he wanted shit to be about Jesus and the Shroud of Turin and the Spear of Destiny and all this shit. Yeah, it wasn't about that at all. It was about crystal skulls from ancient aliens. He saw the fucking UFO come out of the ground in the movie, and he's like, fuck. I could tell he was pissed. Yeah, I could tell he was pissed, yeah. Well, not everything you want happens, right? That's called life, brother. And even if you do believe in the Bible or the Torah or the Quran, it doesn't mean it's going to come true. It just means, well, it could, but it doesn't mean that your religion is going to come true. All the prophecies are going to align. I mean, it's fun to think about, but it's not the truth. That's not the real world. That's fantasy. Mankind's fantasies. To cope, and why do I think religion was invented? To cope with the harsh realities of old age and death and the inherent unfairness of life. That's why I think man invented religion. So mankind invented religion because life is unfair and people die. And good people die and evil people thrive. That's why religion endured. Because people are afraid of being dead. Yeah. That seems a logical explanation for it. Does that mean I think that all religious people are fools? Well, when's the last time God paid your bills? When's the last time God gave you some gold? When's the last time God did a damn thing for you or me or anybody else? Just think about that. Never did, never will. Guess who's going to pay our bills? Us. Guess who's going to do the work? Us. Guess who's going to do the heavy lifting? You got it. Us. Yeah. Yeah, it's not some mystical fantasy figure that's going to do that. It's us. It's up to us. Yeah. That's the raw truth of it. That's the rub. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's fine. I love ancient folklore and I love ancient religions. So preach on, brother. Hope you get to the promised motherfucking land. Yeah, it was funny assuming that Steven Spielberg was Jewish and of the kingdom of Judea, and that George Lucas apparently is Christian, and then they'd make something about aliens, and that would make their community angry. That is kind of funny. Now, does believing in God mean that you cannot believe in extraterrestrials or life? I don't believe that if you believe in the earth religions, that you cannot also apply those religions to celestial bodies or life outside the solar system or galaxy or other galaxies or even in different universes. I don't think that's necessarily strange. I don't think there's a rule that says that. So religion will have to adapt to new scientific discoveries or religion will die out. Period. So they know they're writing on the wall. If there's a civilization on another planet and they believe in something totally different than Judeo-Christian or Islam or Hinduism or Buddhism, then how are earth religions going to adapt? They're going to be totally different. So religion, if it is going to survive, will have to adapt to the times and technological evolution and discoveries. Otherwise, it won't survive. That's the truth. Because as we all know from Han Solo, Harrison Ford, hokey religions and ancient weapons are no use. Hokey religions and ancient weapons aren't anything against a good blaster at your side. But we don't need lessons from the Bene Gesserit. of Dune by Frank Herbert. It's... There you go. Your photographic memory is excellent. Nice. Or is it? No, you did it perfectly. Okay. Thought you did it perfectly, didn't you? Well, I thought my photographic memory actually did this right. I thought it was perfect. Right, maybe not. Okay, you remember the song though? I can't. Losing track. Oh, you have to go to shorts, yeah. There you go. Does that increase the viewership? Maybe so. It depends on if they thought this girl was a good singer or pretty or not. That would depend on that. On those particular calculations. Emilia Sjöholm from Sweden. Singer-songwriter, indie pop. Nature lover. Oh, a lover indeed. Here you go. Don't lose it, boys.
It could have been me, but it's your way to see. It could have been us, but you're playing around. Remember what I said, you're my midnight sun. My midnight sun. My midnight sun.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
It could have been me, but it's your way to see. It could have been us, but you're playing around. Remember what I said, you're my midnight sun. My midnight sun. My midnight sun.
Yeah, she's pretty good looking, huh? Yeah. She's not a Jew, a sweet Jew. A sweet Jew. No, she's probably not Jew. But that's more North. That's more Norse territory. Yeah, that's more Viking, Thor, more legendary territory up there. Scandinavia, right? They believe in Odin and Thor and the Viking gods, the pagan gods, the warrior gods. The warrior gods. A place of true warriors and true maidens. So Finland joined NATO because they're afraid of a Russian invasion like the Ukraine. Well, once the KGB thug is dead, he needs to be totally dead. He almost was killed in a drone attack. I think NATO and CIA should try to kill Vladimir Putin and Zelensky even more intensely. He needs to be gone. Yeah, so his own people are going to overthrow this monster, Vladimir Putin, or cancer's going to kill him, or time's going to kill him, or the West is going to kill him. But Vladdy, something is going to kill you, and you're going to be dead. Yeah. So something is going to kill Vlad Mad, the murderer of babies and children. Somebody's going to kill him. It could be the West. It could be the CIA. It could be the NSA. It could be the whoever. It could be the Ukrainians. It could be Russians that kill him. assassinate him, somebody's going to kill him. That's for sure. Or cancer or old age. Something is going to kill Vlad Mad KGB thug Putin. And there's nothing in the entire earth or history of human civilization that's going to save his evil ass. That's true. There's a part in The Walking Dead where Rick Grimes, played by Andrew Lincoln, Andrew Buttercluck, or whatever his real name is, from England, he says, to Negan, I'm going to kill you. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But I'm going to kill you. Yeah, and so that's the same way a lot of people feel about Vladimir Putin, is that it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but you are going to die. He's that hated, right? So, is it Buttercuck or Buttercluck? He has some hobbit, he has some horrible name, Andrew Lincoln. So he changed his name. What's a really good, one of the best things I've ever seen? And I've been a fan of Kate Bush and Wuthering Heights, and the Wuthering Heights novel for a long time, Emily Bronte. But there's a Tom Hardy, Andrew Lincoln, Wuthering Heights miniseries that is fucking incredible. So I know it's a little bit mystical, and there's nothing wrong if you don't like mystical stuff. That's okay. I tend to like that kind of stuff. I like kind of mystical, magical stuff. That's why I still read the Bible, because I like fantasy stories. So I always have like that. People watch Star Wars. They know that some guy can't like teleport shit with his mind and jump 30 feet in the air and shit, but we still watch it anyways, right? Because it's kind of entertaining. Yeah, we watch fantasy shit because it's entertaining. We know that Harry Potter can't really fly on a broom, but we read it and we watch it anyway, right? Because it's exciting, because it's entertaining. Yeah, so you like the dread, the morbidity of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights? Yeah, I like it. Heathcliff and Catherine. Not just because my mother's named Catherine, but I like it on different levels. So this miniseries has Andrew Lincoln and Tom Hardy, and I forgot who else is in it, but it's Andrew Lincoln with Tom Hardy. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking the shit. I'd also recommend a BBC series called it's called Sherlock Holmes with Mark Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch. Also, I've seen that. I really enjoyed that one. That was really excellent work. So yeah. So yeah. He's gay. Yeah. The guy who went to my Klein Oak High School, he's gay. Jim Parsons of The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon Cooper. That dude is really gay. Yeah. He's really homosexual. But you know what? That guy makes a great character. So he's a great actor. So, anyways, his lifestyle choice is his lifestyle choice. You know what I'm saying? He's real gay. Oh yeah, real gay, like extremely gay. Who went to my school? I had no idea who went to Klein High School. I knew that Sheldon Cooper, Jim Parsons went to Klein Oak, but when I went to Klein, I had no idea that Lee Pace went there. Maybe we only were Lee Pace is the Lord of the Rings Foundation. I used to read Foundation when he was in school, which is weird. He eventually was starring Foundation. And he was in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That's Lee Pace in The Guardians of the Galaxy. He's in Marvel movies. He's in Lord of the Rings. He's in the Hobbit trilogy. Lee Pace. Yeah. But guess what? Lee Pace is real gay. Dude's really gay. Yeah. These guys are really gay. I mean, that's cool, man, but it's kind of funny that they have to try to pretend to be straight guys all the time. That is kind of amusing. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a man. I'm like women, but I'm really gay." Yeah, this is funny. But I don't discriminate against the queers or whatever, or the gays or whatever. They like what they like. You know what I'm saying? They do what they do. I do what I do. You know. I'm not on board the gay team, like A team. I'm not on the gay team, but we live in a free country where people can be, homo queers and LGBT queer double plus, and it's whatever you want to choose to be, man. So that's fine. Imagine I'm in high school and I pass Ronan the Accuser. Thanos, I am coming for you! Thanos, I will destroy you! Yeah, that's a trip, dude. Yeah. Thanos shall give me the orb of destiny or I shall destroy you. Imagine if I would have taken more theater arts classes. They'd be like, I will destroy you from the inside of your soul. Or something like yeah, that would have been good maybe, dude. Not really. I'll destroy you in the depths of your eternity. Yeah, I wish. I really good. Yeah, high school was kind of gay. Anyway, high school was like you had to do your locker shit, and there's you had to be around people you didn't want to be around. Your fucking shit. Fucking suck. Like, oh hey man, I'm in the locker. I was like, dude, give me a fucking break. I need to get my books and go to school. Fucking lame, bro. High school fucking sucked donkey anus. For real. Without a doubt. High school sucked. High school sucks. Donkey anus. High school sucked. Donkey anus. High school sucked. Donkey anus. Ooh. High school sucked. Donkey anus. That might be a good one that I might want to add to SoundCloud. High school sucked. Kiss anus. Some motherfucker was by my locker. He could kiss my ass. Ass. Academy Grammy. I think we're gonna win the Academy Grammy. Or I do. I think I'm gonna win the Academy Grammy Oscar. Hell yeah! 'Cause it's gonna be called High School Sex Dance. It's gonna be a fucking classic, bro. High school sucked. Had to share my shit with motherfuckers. It's gay. My GPA was low cause I didn't give a shit. That's good. I went to career day, it was gay. Okay, yeah, do that. I went to career day, it was gay. There's nothing going on, fucking blue ass. Ooh, ooh. I went to the guidance counselor. He's a fat old motherfucker and he sucked my dick. Didn't help me do shit. That's good. I'm gonna explain the whole experience of like high school. Nah, then it was like, then I got recruited by the Navy. They said I get pussy in Australia, but they're fucking lying to me. They never told me that I'd look at 90 fucking dicks and it would be gay. And it would fucking suck to be in the Navy. Yeah, the recruiters are always like, when they want to recruit you for the army or the military, they're like, you'll be swimming in cash and pussy. That's how they always get everybody signed up. They're like, oh, you need some ass and some pussy? Well, we got it. We got it. Do they have a point? Or, okay, if you join the military, you're going to be swimming in ass and pussy and money. I think to a certain extent. All right, so if you're just a worker at a corporation, girls are going to be like, man, fuck, who the fuck is this guy, you know? He's a fucking loser. Look at this guy. He doesn't fucking do anything. He's a fucking loser. All right. But if you join the Air Force, then the women are like, yeah, the guy's in the Air Force. Yeah, mama, I got a real winner right here. He's got medical. He's got dental. He's got Air Force. Yeah, he's in the Space Force, mama. Yeah, this guy's a fucking winner. See the difference? If you're like, okay, if you're flipping burgers or something, women are going to be like, this guy's a fucking loser. He works at Kroger's or H-E-B or fucking Walmart. Like, yeah, you flip the burger. Women are going to get really fucking excited. You're like, I'm in the Star Force. Yeah, I'm heading out on a mission to the moon. Yeah. Women love that. Yeah. Man, this guy's got a future, man. He's got medical, he's got dental, he's got the cash, he's got the ass. Man. So those military guys do well initially. They're going to be able to lay the flower. All right, they're going to be able to have the two to five kids. Long term, though, maybe the money stalls out. Maybe the marriage stalls out. Maybe it gets stale or whatever. I'm not saying everything goes south like Decker and he gets PTSD from Afghanistan or a proxy war from Afghanistan. He starts, suffocating his wife and children and destroys his whole family. I'm not saying every single military family goes that way. But I'm saying, at first, it's all peaches and gravy. But then, yeah. So, I thought about it. What if I was in the Navy and the fucking Star Force and Air Force and fucking Army and Marines? Yeah, I mean, access to ass would be off the charts. All those women would be like, man, this guy's got a future. Look, he's in uniform. Oh, he's so handsome. Look, he's a leader. Oh, he's such a man. Oh, what a man. Yeah. But think about what happens afterwards, right? You get your arm blown off. You know, bitches are gonna leave you. You're not gonna have any cash. I mean, there's other shit that's gonna happen. That's not gonna be so cool, right? So it's not a fucking life. Isn't a fucking fairy tale, guys. So on the other hand, right? But I did notice, but I would say I did notice this. All those girls I loved in middle school and high school, 7 times out of 10, they married a military man. Yeah, they did. And, yeah. And I thought, man, if I had been a military man, I'd be having these really hot chicks with lots of babies, and I'd be fucking set up. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, I don't really think about the dark side. I think that life is a fairy tale for people that get married and have children. So I have a naive kind of concept of it. And so I think people that made it are just in some fantasy world, and it's not always the case. But I did notice that the guys who were in the uniform, they did pick up more tail, more trim than I could ever dream of, just working a regular job or something like that. So, yeah. I'd either have to be super wealthy or be a commander in the U.S. forces or something. You know, lay down some major government bank to get some major ass, get some major fucking trim and tail. So, yeah. I'm not saying that every guy that joined the military, they got perfect trim and tail and everything worked out. You know, obviously there's suicides and violence and really bad divorces and custody battles. Obviously there's mental illness and all this shit going on. But you know, yeah. Would I join the military for ass? That's what they try to get young men. Like, you're gonna be swimming in bush. And it's like, yeah, right, dude. Yeah. Fucking right, bro. Swimming in punani, nigga. I mean, what the fuck? Give me a fucking break, dog. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. About to play with my balls.